y'all, it's Betsy
and Mom
from Happily Ever After, etc. We are here in front of the dog fence in Mom's backyard because she is putting together a
new bed.
A new garden bed, even though she has promised multiple times that she doesn't want any new garden beds ever in the whole backyard.
You talking about me?
Yeah.
You're so confused.
I'm not confused. I've been told for years that she doesn't want any more gardens. They're too much work, too much maintenance.
They are.
I have a feeling they're just going to keep expanding until the whole yard is filled.
Well, I just saw a really sweet garden that had these really cute grass pathways. And I thought, this is going to be the perfect grass pathway. It's like all curved through here. It's very inviting. And that very attractive chain link fence.
So originally,
needs covered up.
She had planted a hedge border here. We do have a video on that. I will link that down below so you can see where we started, where she's planting some little...
I have Japanese holly.
Japanese holly.
I have sunshine ligustrum,
which is the yellow and green ligustrum.
And then this is Chinese privet, which is also ligustrum.
And it is more of a green and white.
Yes.
So it's a bush hedge, and it will eventually grow up and cover the majority of the fence.
Yeah.
And that was what she originally wanted, was low maintenance, lots of impact, big plants.
But I'm putting big plants up here too.
So she's doing more perennials, but annuals will come. She doesn't do as many annuals as I do.
I hardly do any annuals.
But
except for what reseeds.
Yes, lots of Inca and things. So we're going to get started, and by we, I mean Mom, because this is future Betsy and Mom. Yes. Mom has been working on this. You will see from beginning to now, pretty much by herself. All I've done is
in the rain
is bring her plants.
Yes, she does.
So she's going to show you kind of how she thinks through laying out a new garden, where she picks to put plants, starting in the back to the front, how she puts down her cardboard for the no-till method. Of course, I have been gardening for 5 years now, basically since 2020 when I bought my house. But Mom is the 99 percentile of where I've learned my information from. Yes. She is the OG teacher. Yes. Everyone always asks, how do you know so much about plants? I'm like, well, my mother is obsessed. So,
yeah, but I got it honestly too. My grandfather went to LSU in the 20s to study horticulture, and he was a county agent or extension agent, as they called him in Louisiana, and he helped the farmers in Louisiana. He went to
he had little gardens all over town he grew crops and things in, and
he grew vegetables.
My great grandmother grew flowers. Her garden was
phenomenal.
The pinnacle of my life. I would die to have a garden that was anything like Nana's.
She collected Louisiana iris and daylilies. She had, 50, 70 different varieties of daylilies.
I wish she'd been around in the days of YouTube, because walking through her garden and getting it on film would have been really nice.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
I mean, it's in memory forever, but I don't even have that many pictures of it.
No, and by the time you came along, she had gotten quite old.
Well,
and she couldn't garden anymore.
A senior in high school or a freshman?
You were,
maybe a sophomore.
A sophomore.
I was in high school when she passed. I didn't even have my driver's license. So yeah, I was.
Yeah, you were
as a sophomore. We had just gotten my Lily cat, and I got her the week I got my driver's license.
Right, and so, but she had a beautiful garden, and she had the front of their lot, and my grandfather had the rear of the lot for his vegetables and his hunting dogs and stuff. But they both, and my father was a good gardener.
Grandpa mainly did vegetables.
He did vegetables, but he also did fruit trees and
muscadines.
He loved fruit.
But he didn't do too many flowers.
No, he didn't. But my mother liked the hydrangeas.
I was going to say, Grandma just liked hydrangeas.
She did.
Regardless of the stories, Mom's going to get started. I really haven't helped her with much, and she talks you through all of laying this out and the whole process of planning it. We will come back on Sunday in 2 days, and I'm going to help her get everything planted, and we'll do another video for that. But this this took quite a lot of work to just get to this point.
Yeah, it did.
So we're going to get started with the planning process, and I hope you enjoy.
We were very lucky though, because Betsy had given me so many plants that I didn't have to go out and buy a whole lot.
No, she bought the dogwoods.
I bought the dogwoods.
Is that the only thing? I mean, she purchased all
these
hedge plants
other trees
last year.
These were in my front yard, but I dug them up and put them in the back, and they're just doing wonderful since they just got so big. They got probably 7-8 feet tall.
All right, let's get going with the video.
All right. All right. I started doing the cardboard here yesterday, but it was raining, so it was a bit too rainy to video. So I'm going to video the rest of it as I finish it. So I did have these boxes. You do have to take all the tape off because it does not like the tape. Once you put it down on the ground, it will disintegrate, but the tape will stay there. So. Yeah, this will work. I have two really big boxes that I found that I think are going to work really good. They cover a lot of space. And you do want to overlap it a little bit. Not a lot, just a little. Otherwise, you'll have weeds grow up in between the boxes. Now I have a bunch of smaller boxes to fill in the rest. So that's basically all you have to do is just kind of cover up the grass and, in my case, the weeds, because my backyard's a lot of weeds. I don't have a lot of grass. And then you cut holes when you want to plant something, and you put mulch on top of it, and the weeds will be suppressed by all the cardboard, and the cardboard will biodegrade into the dirt. It'll take a couple years, but it'll be done. Okay, I'm going to start placing some things around kind of how I want them. I'm not sure. I'm going to kind of play it by ear and see how I like how things are. I have a couple trees, a couple dogwoods, a Japanese maple. I do have 2 roses. One's looking a little pitiful. And then I have some perennials. And obviously I'll have to get some more stuff as time goes on. But this is what I have right now just to get started with. So, all right. I planted both of the dogwood trees and the roses in some pots because I wasn't sure where I wanted to plant them, and I'm glad I did it the way I did it. So they are in pots right now, but I'll have to take them out of those pots and I'll put them in the ground. Not today, but once I get things placed. Okay, I wrote some sizes down, kind of close to everything I'm planting. So the trees, both the dogwoods and the Japanese maple get 25 feet tall by 15 feet wide. Of course, that's the canopy, so that's going to be up above everything. But you have to make sure you don't place them too close together so they don't run into each other. So, and I kind of try to stagger them a little bit. I pulled the Japanese maple out a little bit more than the dogwoods. So the roses, I have 2 roses. They're called Chantilly Cream, and they get to be 4 to 6 feet tall by 3 to 4 feet wide. And I kind of pulled them out a little bit from the bushes I have in the back. In the back, I have Sunshine Ligustrum, and I also have some Chinese privet. And Sunshine Ligustrum is a type of Chinese privet. It's just more green and yellow, whereas the other privet I have is more green and white variegated. And I'll turn this around so you can see that. So it's maybe there it is. See, right in the middle here, right there. It was in my front yard and it just got so tall. So I would say 6 to 7 feet tall by about 4 to 5 feet wide. So that's why I put it back here, because I have a lot more room in the back. And I'm trying to cover up part of this very attractive chain link fence where I have my dog pen. And I think that's going to do it. I also have some pencil holly bushes that get tall, but they only get about 1.5 foot to 1.5 foot wide. So just some little, you know, kind of difference type bushes. And then the different perennials I have get anywhere from 3 to 4 feet tall to some that only get not even 2 feet tall. So I'm going to try to kind of place them so that the taller stuff's in the back, obviously, and the front, the larger, shorter stuff is in the front. So I also have a let me pause this. All right, there we go. I have a very sweet bird bath that I'm going to put right here. And I put in my paver at the bottom so that it won't shift and get tilted. I took a level out to make sure it was level, and it is very level, shocking level. So I had to dig a little bit out in the front, but it's good. It's good. So I'm going to go ahead and do that first. And this thing is definitely heavy. Definitely. There we go. Which is heavier, the base or the bird bath part? It has a little thing in there. I don't know if it's, I think it's the pedestal which is a little wobbly. Not the base. So I don't know if I'll leave it on that base or not. So, and I have an angel that goes on the top. There she is. I got this at a estate sale, which is a great place to get cement pieces because they just are just super good. They're so expensive to buy them out and out, so I like to get them at estate sales. I also have this climbing rose that Betsy got, and she gave to me. She got it from her work. She gave it to me because she just doesn't have a place. It's called Cecile Brunner, climbing rose, and it gets to be up to 18 feet long. So I think this one I'm going to put back here and try to train it on this fence. But I've been watering it diligently, and it has a lot of new growth on it, so I'm very happy with it. It's not happy at Betsy's house. I think I'll put it right back here behind this sunshine ligustrum. That's kind of right in the middle of these other bushes. And this is my Japanese maple, which is, it's called Siryu lace leaf Japanese maple. It's green, and in the fall it turns red and gold with hints of purple. I'm very excited about that. That one, Betsy's work had a special. If you came in and bought something, he gave you some things. He had a bunch of things for free, and he gave this to me for free. So that was a nice thing. Dothan Nursery, great nursery in Dothan, Alabama. So I love it. And again, that tree gets 25 by 15 feet wide, 25 feet tall by 15 feet wide. Okay, now I have to figure out where to put some of these perennials. So I'm going to kind of think about it and then start placing some things. This is a very cute salvia skyscraper pink, and it gets to be, it says 14 to 28 inches tall, but Betsy said she thought it was a little bit closer to 3 feet. So we shall see. I don't know. I gotta think about things. I have a lot of pink because Betsy likes pink. All right, let me go move this again. Okay. I decided to move those salvias a little further away from the rose bush and the climbing rose because those are both pink also. Okay, and I think I'm going to put the Gara down there because I have 5 of them, and that's a big area. I'm going to turn this around. Okay, I just turned it off because it was way too much turning involved. I have 5 of these, so I think I'm going to put this rose back a little bit. Everything's going to look like there's so much space around them, but you know, when you first plant a garden, you got to leave space for how big things are going to get. And some of these bushes and these roses get quite big. that. Now, this salvia is called Mystic Spires, and it is blue, and it gets very tall, about 3 to 4 feet tall. I'm going to put it over here by itself, and then get something to go around it, probably some annuals. So you can see there, I put it right there. And the last thing I have is this yellow agastache, and this is actually it gets pretty tall. Also, they're 24 to 36 inches tall. So, and the hummingbirds and the butterflies love it. So I think I'm going to put this one down here by that bird bath. Yeah. And so that's basically all I have right now, but that's still quite a bit. Let me turn this so I'm not decapitated. Okay, so I also have a few some bulbs, some stargazer lily bulbs, and they get to be 3-4 feet tall also. I'm going to plant those. And I have some daisies that get, at least 3 feet tall. And they were supposed to be shorter, and they got put at the front of one of my beds, and so they're just lording it over everything behind it. You can't see anything behind it. So I'm going to dig those up and move those also and put them in a second tier back here. Maybe not all the way to the fence, but in a second tier behind something. And we'll see how it goes. If it dies, it dies. If it doesn't die, then yay. But I also do have one more bush down there. It's a type of, it's got an orange color to it. The bloom has an orange color to it, yeah. And I'm not real super familiar with it, although I do have one in my garden right now. It's called Lime Sizzler Firebush, and it gets 3 feet tall by 3 to 4 feet tall by 3 to 4 feet wide. So I put that over here. I have another one kind of behind it. It gets at least 5-6 feet tall, and then it literally dies back to the ground. I cut it all off, and it grows back up every year. It's kind of like a Rose of Sharon, that it dies back every year. So I think this is pretty good for a good start, and then Betsy will come over and look at it and say, oh no, Mom, you messed up this, and this, but you know, that's the way we work. But I have all kinds of things in my garden that I can move. It's just a question of, do I want to move stuff? Do I want to wait and get some other stuff? You know, what do I want to do? So, we'll see. But for right now, I think it looks pretty good. So, like I said, Betsy will come over and we'll probably tweak it. So, all right. Bye-bye.
All right, y'all. So it is back the next day when we started the video. Obviously, Mom has finished laying everything out for y'all.
Yes.
Lady is very excited about it. Lady is my dog, so she's just excited I'm here. Either way, we're going to walk through. She has showed me in video form several times now where she put everything. But let's go ahead and take a quick look And then we will get started, like I said earlier, on Sunday with planting. All right, so everything looks good. This is the little lime sizzler firebush. It has orange blooms and some pretty variegated leaves. And Mom did point out to me several times, including just now, that when she was filming and she couldn't remember how big things got, she just wrote it on her cardboard. So when you're trying to lay things out according to what gets the biggest in the back, if you have cardboard down, I mean,
perfect place to put it.
It's a great way to do it. So then we have some Gara. This will get pretty big, but you can see the base of the plant is pretty low. Yeah. And then you'll have these long, airy wisps of the flowers. Right. So that'll be pretty around the front of this rose. Everything looks good where you placed it. The only thing that I was a little concerned about, we talked through the trees and the canopy. We have the pretty salvia. I have one of these that I planted earlier this season in my coneflower bee balm patch, and it is doing really well.
Oh, wow. Good.
So I think you'll really like those. Somehow these were going to be mine, and somehow they're in your yard.
Well, you decided you didn't have room for them, so you gave them to me. I didn't even ask.
That is not even true. Anyways, the one thing I am not sure about, lady, do you want to come show them? That's right. She's gone. Here she is.
All the new growth on this.
Is this rose?
You gave it to me.
So this is a beautiful rose. I actually grabbed it because I love the style of rose it is. It is a kind of peony style open rose.
Yes.
And that is my favorite type of flowering rose kind of bush. I thought it was a bush. I got it all the way home and realized it is a climbing rose.
Yeah, it gets like 15 feet, 18 feet long.
It is a long climbing rose. Huh,
18
lady?
18 feet. That's huge.
And I already have a very similar peony style climbing rose on my porch, which I love. So I love it, but I have nowhere to put another climbing rose. And all of that is to say that while this is a great fence to put it on now, eventually you have laid out an entire hedge.
And this will get to be like this tall.
And the hedge will block 90% of the fence.
Yeah.
So I think the rose needs to be moved. We have to move it. Mom's thinking she wants to actually put it in a big pot, move it down to the end of the line. You can see the big open space Mom left, because, come in the video and tell them why, Mom.
Because I have been collecting old windows.
And pavers. You can see the pavers here.
I have many pavers my girlfriend gave me. And I am going to make a greenhouse out of old windows.
It is going to be beautiful. It's going to go right down here at the end of this garden bed. And so she's thinking about doing an arbor of some kind down there by the greenhouse. And this would be a beautiful rose for that arbor. So we're thinking about moving it down there and putting it on the arbor. We're going to have to worry about how to plant it down there, and maybe a pot or something. And then we'll go from there. But I think that is really the only thing. We've got our little Japanese maple here.
Look how much it's grown.
Yes. All that green is new growth.
All this since I got it.
So the only other thing we're not sure about is the Agastaki is really close to this Sunshine Ligustrum. But this bush will take a long time to get this big. Right. So we can move this Agastaki at some point in the future. And I think everything else looks great.
You like it all?
Yeah, I like it. Lady likes it. So I think that is the end of the video. We will be back on Sunday to plant everything. Yep. Everyone say thank you to Mom for filming this, because otherwise we would have no footage. Yep. I told her just to put y'all on fast time lapse, and then we would walk through it at the end. But she decided y'all needed some knowledge, so she talked through the whole thing. So,
well, I do like to talk.
Hope you liked it. She does like to talk. Mm-hmm. We are going to see y'all later. Bye.
Bye.